he was a great manager, the boy said. My father thinks he was the greatest. Because he came here the most times, the old man said. If literature had continued to come here each year, your father would think him the greatest manager. Who is the greatest manager, really? Lucio or Mike? I think they are equal. And the best fisherman is you. No, I know other better. Cuba, the boy said. There are many good fishermen and some great ones, but there is only you. Thank you. You make me happy. I hope no fish will come along so great that he will prove us wrong. There is no such fish if you are still strong as you say. I may not be as strong as I think, the old man said, but I know many tricks and I live resolution. You ought to go to bed now, so that you will be fresh in the morning. I will take the things back to the terrace. Good night then. I will wake you in the morning. You are my alarm clock, the boy said. It is my alarm clock. The old man said, Why do old men wake so early? Is it to have one longer day? I don't know, the boy said. All I know is that young boys sleep late and hard. I can't remember it, the old man said. I'll waken you in time. I do not like for him to waken me. It is as though I were inferior. I know. Sleep well, old man. The boy went out. They had eaten with no light on the table, and the old man took off his trousers and went to bed in the dark. He rolled his trousers up to make a pillow, putting the newspaper inside them. He rolled himself in the blanket and slept on the other old newspapers that covered the springs of the bed. He was asleep in a short time, and he dreamed of Africa when he was a boy, and the long golden beaches and the white beaches, so white they hurt your eyes, and the high capes and the great brown mountains. He lived along that course now every night, and his dreams he heard the surf roar and saw the native birds come reading through it he smelled the tar and oakum of the as he slept, and he smelled the smell of Africa that the land breeze brought at morning. Usually when he smelled and land breeze, he up and dressed to go and wake the boy. But tonight the smell of the land breeze came very early, and he knew it was too early in his dream, and went on dreaming to see the white peaks of the islands rising from the sea, and then he dreamed of the different harbors and roadsteads of the Canary Islands. He no longer dreamed of storms, nor of woman, nor of great fish, nor heights, nor contents of strange, nor of his wife. He only dreamed of places now, and of the lions on the beach. They played like young cats in the dark, and he loved them as he loved the boy. He never dreamed about the boy. He simply woke, looked out the open door at the moon, and unrolled his trousers and put them on. He oriented outside the shack and then went up the road to wake the boy. He was shivering with the morning cold, but he knew he would shiver himself warm and that soon he would be rowing. The door of the house where the boy lived was unlocked, and he opened it and walked in quietly with his bare feet. The boy was asleep on a cot in the first room, and the old man could see him early, clearly, with the light that came in from the dying moon. He took hold of the foot gently and held it until the boy woke and turned and looked at him. The old man nodded, and the boy took his trousers from the chair by the bed, and sitting on the bed, pulled them on. The old man went out of the door, and the boy came after him. He was sleepy, and the old man put his arm across his shoulders and said, "I'm sorry." However, the boy said, "It is what a man must do." They walked down the road to the old man's shack, and all along the road, in the dark, barefoot men were moving, carrying the masts of their boats. When they reached the old man's shack, the boy took the rolls of line in the basket and the harpoon and the gaff, and the old man carried the mast with the furled sail on his shoulder. "Do you want coffee?" the boy asked. "We'll put the greer in the boat and then get some." They had coffee from condensed milk cans at an early morning place. "Fisherman, how did you sleep, old man?" the boy asked. He was waking up now, although it was still hard for him to leave his sleep. "Very morning," the old man said. "I feel confident today." "So," the boy said, "now I must get your sadness and mine and your fresh braids. He brings our gear himself. He never wants anyone to carry anything." "We different," the old man said. "I let you carry things when you were 5 years old." "I know it," the boy said. "I'll be right back. Have another coffee. We have credit here." He walked up, barefooted, on the coral rocks to the ice house where the baits were stored. The old man drank his coffee slowly. It was all he would have all day, and he knew that he should take it. For a long time now, eating had bored him, and he never carried a lunch. He had a bottle of water in the bow of the skiff, and that was all he needed for the day. The boy was back now, with the sardines and the two beds wrapped in a newspaper, and they went down the trail to the skiff, feeling the pebbled sand under their feet, and lifted the skiff and slid her into the water. "Good luck, old man." "Good luck," the old man said. He fitted the rope lashing of the oars onto the whole pins and leaning forward against the truss of the blades in the water, to run out of the harbor in the dark. There were other boats from the other beaches going out to sea, and the old man and the push of their oars. Even so, he could not see them. Now the moon was below the hills. Sometimes someone would speak in a boat, but most of the boats were silent except for the dip of the oars. They spread apart after they were out of the mouth of the harbor, and each one headed for the part of the ocean where he hoped to find fish. The old man knew he was going far out, and he left the smell of the land behind and rowed out into the clean, early morning smell of the ocean. He saw the phosphorescence of the Gulf wheat in the water as he rowed over the part of the ocean that the fisherman called the Great Wheel, because there was a sudden dip of 700 fathoms where all sorts of fish congregated because of the swell the current made against the steep walls of the floor of the ocean. Here there were concentration of shrimp and baits fish, and sometimes schools of squid in the deepest holes, and this rose close to the surface at night where all the wandering fish fed on them. In the dark, the old man could feel the morning coming, and as he rode he heard the trembling sound as flying fish left the water, and the hissing that their stiff set wings made as they soared away in the darkness. He was very fond of flying. Fish as they were his principal friends on the ocean. He was sorry for the birds, especially the small delicate dark terns that were always flying and looking and almost never finding. And he thought the birds have a harder life than we do, except for the robber birds and the heavy, strong ones. Why did they make birds so delicate and fine as those sea swallows when the ocean can be so cruel? She is kind and very beautiful, but she can be so cruel, and it comes so suddenly, and such birds that fly, zipping and hunting with their small sad voices are made too delicately for the sea. He always thought of the sea as a mare, which is what people call he in Spanish when they love her. Sometimes those who love her say bad things of her, but they are always said as though she were a woman. Some of the younger fishermen, those who used briars as floats for their lines and had motorboats, but when the shark livers had brought much money, spoke of her as Elmer, which is musculine. They spoke of her as a contestant or a place or even an enemy, but the old man always thought of her as feminine and as something that gave or withheld great favors, and if she did wild or wicked things, it was because she could not help them. The moon affects her as it does a woman, he thought. He was rolling steadily, and it was no effort for him since he kept well within his speed, and the surface of the ocean was flat except for the occasional swirls of the current. He was letting the current do a third of the work, and as it started to be light, he saw he was already farther out than he had hoped to be at this hour. I worked the deep wells for a week and did something, he thought. Today I'll work out where the schools of Bonito all Baker are, and maybe there will be a big one with them.